submitted by the Municipal Building Review Task Force. It's me. We have a cover letter with the back of the papers, and it is as follows. The task force voted on the following. To recommend, and we'll take them one at a time. That's okay with everybody. To recommend for approval, invoices number 18017-14 dated August 5th, 2019, in the amount of $2,995.20, and invoice number 18017-15 dated September 3rd, 2019, from Saccoccio Associates in the amount of $2,995.20. There a motion to approve those two invoices?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bonneville, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Marmoli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara? Yes. Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Clarification, if I may, I know we're in the middle of a vote, so we're talking about this one here, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and the
First two invoices.
first two, one in the amount of $2,995.20, the other one, the $326,000.
No.
No.
To the second one.
You got two invoices.
Oh, all in one.
Two invoices for the same amount. They're monthly invoices.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Next item, to recommend for approval, Calson Corp.'s pay rec number 4 dated August 1st, 2019, invoice number 19-9346 in the amount of $326,749.77. There a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bonneville, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Discussion.
I have a question. So it sees here that the $102,021 is for the change order amount. And I know in another invoice, which I know I'm getting ahead, it looks like another change order of $14,000 and some change. So based on the original cost to that cost, you're looking at almost a 4% increase in this total cost. Do we anticipate any more? How frequent are these change orders coming? I know this project's supposed to be winding down. Like, so what is? What's the extent?
I'm not following you.
So the change orders is like $102,000, right?
That's already been approved by this board.
Okay.
Already been
So my
approved.
other question is, there's another change order coming down the line here, right?
Right.
So are there going to be any more? It just seems like the change orders are sneaking in and they're slowly creeping up. So I'm just curious, like, what do we anticipate for change orders? We can talk about the next invoice, but
There were more change orders coming. I don't know what the values are for them, we're negotiating with them.
I'm not concerned because I didn't know that there was going to be, from what it sounded like, there wasn't going to be a ton of change orders. So I just didn't know if we knew that going in that there would be anticipation of a lot, or it seems like that's a creep cost that we could probably have reduced to some other areas. So I'm just concerned about it.
I share your concerns, Bill. Maybe someone can help me. If we wait till we get to number 3.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, I should say roll call vote.
Mrs. Marmoli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Next item, to recommend for approval, a change order from Alarm New England in the amount of $32,778 for additional drops of voice and data cables at the direction of the town's IT personnel. This was a contract that we had approved, or the council had approved, to do voice and data cabling, to do the alarm system and everything. They had looked at the wrong, well, they were pricing it on a plan dated 3/15, and after that, we updated the plan dated for 22/19, and it had more things in it that we needed for the future as well as today. Some of them were related to EMA being in the basement and stuff. And so this is a change order, and it says what's going to be put in there. We went through it as a group, and it totals $32,770. We recommend approval. This will put the building up to speed as far as voice and data lines go, and there is money in the budget. The budget is fine. Is there a motion to approve change order to Alarm New England in the amount of $32,778?
That's an addition, Mr. President?
Yes. The original contract was for $15,000 and change. They added quite a bit, there's quite a bit added to this.
So the award contract for installation, well, help me, I could be totally lost here. Was that on July 13th minutes? Am I off there? We were approving, I have it here.
Yeah, we did it.
Okay, so we're looking for an invoice, alarm New England, I see engineering security systems, your alarm, my guys, that's
One more page.
Too
Next page.
far.
There were 4 pieces that we approved. And yeah, this piece. Data and phone lines.
Okay, and that's to a company called Engineering Security Systems, correct? Now, on this recommended change, it's for alarm New England.
Same company.
Okay, so that remains. So,
It actually got bought out.
oh,
It
okay.
got bought out.
So we had approved $15,202 for
Voice
engineering
and,
security.
yeah, voice and data.
And now we're looking at another 32. So in essence, I'm going to do quick math. We're looking at close to $49,000.
47, I believe. What you need, Dr. Control?
I might, doesn't try that idea. I don't know what the architect used for the scoping drawings to come up with the original layout of drops. But what ultimately transacted is, I think, something, the total number that was in the original quote was 50 drops or something like that.
Not even that.
And the total count that's necessary is over 200. It's not gilding any lilies. That's just getting everybody a phone, getting a phone in each conference room, getting a computer drop into each conference room, computer drops and phone lines where necessary for not just each desk, but likely future desks, as well as every copy machine that, now in today's world isn't just plugged into a wall. It needs a data port and a phone drop. So the numbers add up quickly, and going backwards, we researched some of this, and there was a count of near 200 by the former PBIC. Is how the architect had only the 50 or so is beyond me. We went through and located drops where everything was needed. And as the president has indicated, the addition of EMA presents a circumstance where there is need for multiple additional phone lines, multiple additional communications tools for that agency to truly be, or that location, or for the town to truly have an emergency operations center. What we have right now is an emergency operations closet. That's an embarrassment. Not just to the residents of the town, to the services that the residents of the town should expect, but to the people who are our EMA. So, yeah, there are lines that got added by the move of EMA to the building. I encourage the support of this change.
I have a problem accepting a 200% increase over the original. So whether the architectural firm missed it, didn't spec weren't created properly, this boggles me. I can't follow this. It's just a lot of money. I'm going to round up $48,000 for what was originally $15,000 approval back in July.
Again, to help you with the numbers, with the math, it's 4 times the number of lines.
But in the original, it was around 200, then went down to 50, and then back up to 200. So
Right.
that's how I can't get it back.
Well, the project documents that were included in the request to engineering security were based on the 50. That's where we're at.
There was a motion in a second, right? do a motion?
I don't think so. I don't think so. The discussion will be right away. I think the motion was asked.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bonneville, is there a second? I'll second for further discussion. All I can tell you is, you've got a bid with X number of pieces in it. If you want to continue with that, that's what you'll get. But you will not have a complete building. You will have holes in the system that will need to be filled in at a later date. After all the walls are completed, after all the ceiling is put in, that's where we're at this point right now. It's not like you're paying more to get the same thing, you're paying more to get, in some cases, 3 times more, in some cases, 6 times more than what was originally quoted.
But Mr. President, in all due respect, this is 2019, and Gary's spot on. Printers nowadays, you just don't plug them into a wall. They all run on a VoIP and an IP address, and you have to configure all that. We should have known that 50 seemed a little light in today's day and age. And just looking, I'm not an architect, and I can't even tell you how to design something like that, but I do know computers, I work in them, and you should have known, or we should have known that, hey, this seems very light. If we wanted to have 10 desks over here, and 10 desks over here, and 10 printers here, and that, it just doesn't conceptually make sense. That is how I am having trouble accepting how we overrun the cost or the expected cost of this. And personally, I don't agree with it. It just seems like it's a miscalculation on our part.
I'll say again, this isn't an overrun. This is, as the president described, is purchase of what we actually need. What was presented back in July was, much to our surprise, based on a count that was inadequate. The count that's needed is in excess of 200 drops. It's just the way it is. I mean, you can say no, and we'll have a building sitting over there that we're not moving into, because it isn't going to work.
So, help me understand this. So, did the architect come up with the count of 50 drops, or did the municipal building review, who came up with the count of 50 drops? For $15,202.
It was in the bridging documents. That's where the number came from. This is
50 drops or 200 drops or what? Bridging documents cover
the
what?
bridging documents were submitted with X number in it, which was the original number.
200?
No, the original number. No, we never had a document that.
Okay, so it's 50.
The original design that was way over budget didn't even include new lines. You were using all the old existing lines in the building, which we could no longer do because we were moving walls and whatnot. All those existing lines needed to be taken out, and so now we're trying to put them all back in. For whatever reason, the design wasn't adequate to what our actual needs are. It had nothing to do with who made a mistake. This is what we need. If you want to put in what we have in there, we'll run the building with what's in it. But this is what you truly need to operate the building properly. And I'll be the person to tell you, this is not what I know. As far as I'm computer literate, as far as this stuff goes, I couldn't tell you what any of this stuff does. All I know is it's based on the input that we got from the administration, the town's IT guy, the architects walking the building saying, this is what we need, this is the equipment that's going to be in here. That's what we are.
I understand, I guess we're under a time constraint, we have to push this along. But at some point, if we went out with bid specs for 50 drops and it came in at $15,202, now we go back to the original building committee and without bridging documents, I would imagine that they called for 200.
You never got a price for that.
Okay.
You never had a price, you never had a price for that. You didn't even have a design for
I
it.
got it, but now we're into a contract with a company. Is it feasible that we go out to rebid this? Or is it too cumbersome, engineering-wise? I mean, this is a 200% increase over what was approved back in July. What came to us, said, here you go, this will do it. Okay, let's do it. Now we're at, I'm going to round up, it's $48,000 from $15,000. That's a lot more.
Mhm.
How come we didn't get to, know no aspersions on anybody, on the volunteers, I can't fathom.
This is one of the issues that we're dealing with, and you'll see it in other places, is that when you break up a job like this, instead of giving it to one contractor, the town made the mistake of saying the town will be responsible for IT, security, and FF&E. Instead of giving it all to one guy, build a building, here's what you need, and he would have owned it. Instead, the town carved those things out. I don't know why we did that. It was just what was in place. When we inherited it, we continued with that model. Hindsight tells us we should have found it all out. We shouldn't have taken it. The town shouldn't be doing this. We're doing this outside of the scope of the building. Town-owned FF&E, town-owned IT and security. We own it. It has nothing to do with the architects or anything. We own it. We own it 100%. It has nothing to do with Calson Corp. It has nothing to do, and so they took plans that were submitted, or the plans that they had, and submitted them to New England, or you know, engineer security, either one, and they're both the same company.
So that's, I'm sorry, okay.
And so we got to a point, it was designed, and when they came in and they said, wait a minute, we have a different set of drawings from EDS, it was the electrical engineers, saying there's a lot more drops than what this plan had, because it had been updated in between. That's the issue. If we would have had the newer plan when we sent it out, we would have got a bigger number. That's the reality.
So we're discussing number 3.
Right.
How does number 4 weigh into this discussion? We recommend that the town go out to bid for a phone system using the quote from communications on as a guide for the specs.
It's the same thing. We don't have a phone system. It's not part of the bid spec.
So let me come back to what I don't know, where's the shell right now? Where's the pig? So are we going to go out for a bid? Recommend the town go out for a bid for a phone system using the quote. Why can't we go out for a bid for this 200% increase from Milan, New England?
We've already awarded a contract. This is a change order to the contract.
$15,000.
I understand that. It's a change order to a contract that we've already entered into. If you don't want to approve the change order, don't approve the change order.
That's putting, whoever votes this, putting them in the jackpot.
The reality of it is that we went off a master pricing agreement with Alarm New England. We cannot find a master price agreement for the phone system. That's why we need to send it out to bid. And those are things that the town, they're completely separate from the construction process. And it really shouldn't be that way. It should have been all inclusive. It should have been a turnkey operation.
Thank you, Mr. President, for indulging my questions.
Any other discussion? Yes, sir. Please come to the podium, state your name.
Gary Maloney, 10 Bourget Court. Unlike most of you, I actually have been in technology since I was 17. So I know a little bit about what you're talking about. So I want to ask a question that might help with clarification. There's a lot of confusion here. When you're talking about drops, my understanding, as it has always been for decades, drop means physically running a cable. Data cables, phone cables. Does drop mean that in this case? Okay. It's very expensive. You have to put things through the walls and all that stuff. The question I would really ask is why are we doing that in 2019 and not having wireless? I run a software company in Providence. Kind of a little small in your operation, but we have 22 people. We don't have any cables going to our desks. We have conference phones that we just take into whatever room we want and dial up. It's all wireless. So that's the question I would ask. I wanted to clarify, make sure I had the right idea about drops. Thank you.
And that was the point I was trying to make. It's
Yes, it was.
2019. Where I work, we use the whole thing is pretty much wireless. There is some wired connections, but 250, that seems like a crazy amount to me, but and so personally, I can't support it, but it just doesn't make any sense as to why they would say 200 and is that their recommendation, or is that us saying like, oh, that's their recommendation, so we should go forward with it because it sounds good, or is it like, no, we need to give some pushback here and say like 50 in today's day and age, maybe we could put up a couple wireless routers works just as well. So I guess that's why
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, This is what the town's IT guy is saying we need in that building. That's the
I'm
bottom
not,
line.
that's what I'm not blaming anybody, so don't try to.
I'm not blaming anybody, I'm just stating the fact that this is what
I was just-
our IT guy is saying we need in this building. If you don't want to put it in, don't put it in. It's up to you now. There's a vote, there's a second, and we're in the discussion. If you don't want to vote for it, don't vote for it.
Well, I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna go home and not sleep. I'm just telling you that this is what the town's IT guy has said we need in this building to operate efficiently. And you know what? I can't tell you whether we can do it with wireless or whatever. That's not what I do, you know?
Right,
So when I talk about a casting, I can talk to you all day about it. You won't even understand what I'm talking to you about.
Well, Mr. President, I'm a fast learner, so, but in all honesty, what I'm just trying to get at is that what else have we done as a creative solution to look, to see if maybe, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, I'm not saying anybody's at fault for this, all I'm just saying is have we done enough to say, hey, this makes sense, or no, this doesn't make sense, and can we get by on 50, or can we get by on 25, do we even need any drops in this new building? That's all I was asking. $30,000 after the budget cycle that we just went through is a lot of money that could have been used in a lot of different areas. And that is all I'm trying to make with these change orders, is that they are getting kind of a little out of control at times. And that's all my point is, so.
Any other discussion?
Is it possible for our IT person to look at the idea of Wi-Fi and not have all of this?
I have to disappoint you in saying that our IT person is not an IT designer. He's not a system or systems designer. He's effectively a system operator. So we're asking, do we have a part-time